Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced more than $8 million in grants through the Kentucky Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission in efforts to fight the opioid epidemic. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center will receive $250,000. Clinical Director Michael Fannin says he's thankful for the money.
Thank you to Daniel Cameron for advocating for our clients to help them make sure that they're receiving these services, that these services are available to anybody who wants to utilize those.
Fannin says they plan to use the money to create more programs and facilities. Find out more about their plans coming up tonight at 6. Teachers at schools across eastern Kentucky are preparing their students right now for standardized testing, and those high expectations may be causing some students to feel a little more stressed than usual. School-based counselor Carrie Lawson says to help ease kids' minds leading into testing, caregivers should take a few precautions. Ensure their children are getting enough sleep, eating well, and talk to them through any self-doubt they might have before taking the test.
Making sure that you're building your kids up. You know, if they are having those negative thoughts of, I'm going to fail, just tell them, you've got this. You know, you are prepared, you're smart, you just do the best that you can, and you're going to be fine.
Lawson adds that breathing exercises can also be a helpful tool if the anxiety becomes too much for kids while testing. We'll have more on testing anxiety and how kids can manage it tonight at 6. Now that the weather is warming up, more motorcycle riders will be on the roads across eastern Kentucky. So earlier today, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety released a statement about motorcycle safety as a means of raising awareness. They say last year there were more than 1,500 crashes involving motorcycles in Kentucky. Those resulted in more than 1,000 injuries and 99 motorcycle-related deaths. Perry County Coroner Wayne Bowling says he's encouraging Kentuckians to always be careful around motorcycles.
People really need to be aware of them on the roadways. They have less leadway of stopping a motorcycle and such versus a vehicle.
Bowling says during his time working at his funeral home, he has seen more than a dozen motorcycle-related deaths, and he hopes to not see any more.
Perhaps a day to bundle up if you're going riding, because things remain a bit chilly all throughout the region. That's despite an increase in sunshine in many parts. Here's the view from UVA Wise, where things are rather sunny but rather cool. 52 the current reading there in Wise. There's the view from Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County. Upper 50s to right around 60, and the camera is bouncing all over the place thanks to the gusty winds we're seeing yet again. No wind advisory in place, but winds are gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour in many locations, so it remains a breezy afternoon. Look at the winds gusting 37 miles per hour in Wise, 33 in London, so another breezy one out there. Temperatures, though, at least improving. We're slowly working our way back towards spring-like temperatures. Upper 50s to near 60 out there. Still about 10 degrees cooler than we should be, but we're improving. A couple of showers trying to work through, but not a lot of that's reaching the ground. We put everything in motion, and you see we're watching yet more shower activity across the Buckeye State that could dive in here a little bit later tonight. Your forecast first through the next 12 hours. It's going to be a chilly one out there tonight, down into the 40s for overnight lows. Though, Steve, I'll have the latest in a few minutes on when we see those temperatures start to rise again. That's in a few.
All right, Evan, thank you. At least 6 people are dead and dozens more injured after a rare and blinding dust storm in Illinois. It caused a massive pileup along a major highway there. Authorities say it was difficult to even rescue people from their vehicles. Adrian Broadus has more.
A deadly dust storm causing a massive wreck on a major highway in central Illinois Monday.
It sounds like due to the low visibility, the high winds, everything just came together, unfortunately, in this particular stretch of I-55, and my heart goes out to them.
6 people were killed, including 88-year-old Shirley Harper from Franklin, Wisconsin. That's according to the Illinois State Police. At least 37 people were sent to the hospital with injuries ranging from minor to life-threatening. Their ages span from 2 years old to 80, according to state police.
I've never seen so many fire engines, police cars, and ambulances. The smoke was just incredible, blowing over for a long time.
More than 70 vehicles crashed on a 2-mile stretch of I-55 when 45-mile-per-hour winds swept through nearby farms and fields, picking up dirt, soil, and other debris, blinding drivers. One driver described the scene to local affiliate KSDK, saying the crashes happened one by one, all around them.
The closer we approached it, the visibility just continually got worse, and then all of a sudden it was just a complete blackout. Airbags were deploying all around us.
Another traveler driving in the area at the time described the conditions.
You couldn't see, like somebody put a brown blanket in front of your windshield. Couldn't see nothing, you know.
Multiple commercial vehicles and tractor trailers were involved in the pileup, including 2 semi-trucks that caught fire.
We had multiple vehicles involved. Some were on fire, so we had vehicle fires to extinguish. We had to search every vehicle, whether they were involved in the accident or just pulled over, to check for injuries.
Cleanup from the deadly pileup continued throughout the night. Interstate 55 reopened this morning. In Oklahoma, 7 bodies were discovered yesterday about an hour south of Tulsa. Police are not releasing many details yet as they are still getting to the bottom of what happened. CBS's Omar Villafranca has more on that.
We've searched the property and we've located 7 bodies.
Oklahoma law enforcement found those bodies in Henrietta Monday, but would not discuss any additional facts of the case.
There's no suspect at large that we are looking for right at this moment.
While neither a motive nor the name of a suspect has been released, the father of 16-year-old Brittany Brewer confirmed his daughter was among the dead.
She always played with her little sister, and I don't know how I'm going to tell her, because she's like, Brittany's lost, Brittany's missing. And I got to tell a 4-year-old that she's gone, and I don't even know how to do that.
Earlier in the day, Oklahoma Highway Patrol reported Brewer was endangered and missing, along with her friend, 14-year-old Ivy Webster. They were believed to be traveling with 39-year-old Jesse McFadden. Brewer's father told Tulsa station KOTV that his daughter was friends with McFadden's children and had spent the weekend with the McFadden family and was supposed to come home Sunday night, but never arrived. Records from the state's Department of Corrections show that McFadden was convicted on first-degree rape charges in November of 2003 and released from prison in October 2020. He was slated to stand trial Monday on charges of soliciting sexual conduct with a minor and possession of child pornography. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
In Washington, the Biden administration is preparing for the end of Title 42 next week. Sources say the military plans to send 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border ahead of the COVID-era policy expiring. Title 42 allowed authorities to turn away certain migrants at the border. Sources say troops will be there to support the Department of Homeland Security for 90 days. They will serve in administrative roles and not do any law enforcement work. In recent days, about 7,000 migrants have tried crossing the U.S. southern border daily. Officials expect that number to rise in the coming weeks. Lawmakers in Uganda have passed one of the world's strictest anti-LGBTQ bills. It declares LGBTQ activity illegal and includes long jail sentences and even the death penalty. That's even after their president asked for some parts to be toned down. Uganda's president can now sign it into law, veto it, or send it back to Parliament. A large crowd of teachers marched past England's Parliament in London today after rejecting the government's latest pay offer. Their National Education Union announced the strikes after calling the government's latest pay offer insulting. Members wanted a pay increase of 12%, but the government offered an increase of 5%. The walkout was the 5th teacher strike action this year. and was predicted to disrupt more than 22,000 schools.